Okay. The people on Zoom or whatever. Oh, sorry. All right. Shabbat shalom to everybody that is here. Shabbat shalom to folks that are in YouTube world, TV, and all that stuff. Uh, as we always say, shalom and blessings to the 12 tribes of Israel, whom the Most High scattered abroad. I think Shaul says it best, to the Jew, then to the Gentile. So peace and shalom to you. Peace and shalom to those who have joined themselves to a more excellent way via the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach. Peace and shalom to you. Last but not least, to the dopehead, crack addict, folks that can't get out of jail, to the whoremongers, prostitutes, gamblers, liars, thieves, hustlers. This word is for you. You don't have to live a particular lifestyle if you don't want to. If you want to get out, most I'll make a way for you. Now, if you don't want to get out, I ain't gonna do nothing for you. But if you want out, the Most High will make a way out. He's just too good. I promise, if you cry out to him, I don't care where you at, if you cry out to him, your situation is not that bad to where Most High will not pull you out. But you got to want to be out. All right, we cannot be infatuated with our pain and suffering. Can't be infatuated with it. Your pain and depression can't be driving your car. That's your butler. That's your chauffeur. Is that right? Chauffeur? Chauffeur? As soon as you get up, go outside of your car, thing already running. Because pain and depression and oppression driving you everywhere you go. Then you wonder why you ain't going nowhere in life. So we have to decide to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. Have to decide that you want better for yourself. Then you got to be a go-getter. You got to get up and you got to go get it. I mean, the Most High ain't going to help you. But it's just like your room. It's like your room. When you was a kid, mama say clean your room. She ain't gonna clean your room. I gotta clean my room. Sometimes we gotta clean our life up. There's some stuff that I'm gonna have to physically do. I can't just sit and wait for the broom of life to come through, the dustpan of hope to come through. I can't hope for Mr. Clean with his bald head scrubbing my stuff down, my stuff smelling like Ajax and peppermint. So if you want out, if you want to get free, the Most High will make you free. But if you don't, you want to wallow in your pity, he will let you do it too. But you'll die in your pity. Anyway, shalom to everybody. So we talked about this probably since Chanukah, about strongholds and spiritually making advances for the kingdom of the Most High. So today, and really for a while here, spiritual campaign, part 1, know thy enemy. Okay. Know thy enemy. I think a problem is that we don't know what the enemy is. Or we don't know what the enemy is. We got an idea, but what's that saying? The devil's into details. So we got to know thy enemy. Okay. So quick review. Talked about strongholds, and strongholds are like a fortress, like a military base. You know, if let me see, Japan is like a vassal state of America. You got all kind of like military bases there. So that would be an example of like, even though it's all the way in Japan, you got a American stronghold or an American base there. Okay. So we talk about strongholds. So we want to look at that like we did the other day. And the Hebrew for that was mivzar. Mivzar. Okay. And that was the stronghold. And then we looked, and it meant like being fenced in, a fortification, a stronghold. Okay. And then we had the root word. I'll let you write, brother. And we had the root word for that was Vazar. Got it. Was Vazar, the root of the stronghold. Okay. And that word is Bazar. Batsar. Okay. And this gives us a better idea of what a stronghold means. And if you remember, Basar means to gather, restrain, fence, fortify. Here's a great one. Make inaccessible. But probably to cut off. To cut off. So the root of a stronghold is to cut you off. The root of a stronghold is to cut you off. So we looked at that and we realized, man, well, cut me off from who? Who is my life support? What's my center? What's my source? So if I don't address the strongholds in life, if I do not address the strongholds in life, the Tanakh has told us or shown us that it is to cut us off. Okay? It is to cut us off from somebody. That would be who? Yah. To keep us from Yah. And Bazar, a couple more definitions. To cut away. So to cut off, to cut away. Okay, once again, make inaccessible. Being restrained. Then we talked about the different verb forms. So even in different verb forms, it's still the idea of you being separate from your creator. You're being separated from your creator. Okay. So contrasting strongholds. So you do have a stronghold of Yah. Okay. So in Nahum 1:7, right? The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. So according to Nahum 1:7, Yah is a stronghold. Okay. In Daniel 11:39, thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory. He shall cause them to rule over many and shall divide the land for gain. So we have two examples of strongholds, one for Yah and one for Satan. Okay. So if we're thinking about military war, there are strongholds that are for the Most High. Then you have strongholds that are for the ugly one. Okay. So there are more than one stronghold. Kelly, I'm going to need you to here in a second. So we've talked about the two kingdoms, the kingdom of Elohim, which is where? Within. Kingdom of Elohim is within. The kingdom of Shemaim. This is the one that comes down like a bowling ball on fire or something. It's going to come down and just crush all these other kingdoms. So we're going to talk about another kingdom today. We're going to talk about another kingdom today. I'm going to play something that's, thank you. More of that stuff don't taste good. Husbands, drink that tea. So this is a clip from one of my favorite movies. This is, some of y'all might remember this. And I try to, if it starts in the beginning, just skip it to 15 seconds. Yeah, I'm ready. He drops one bad word, but at 15 seconds, it's good to go. 15 seconds. To 15 seconds, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, she's very smart. I want you to listen to what he says here. Still didn't do it. I want you to listen.
Greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Okay. One of my favorite, once again, movie, Unusual Suspects. If you pay attention to what he said, obviously, this is Kevin Spacey, yeah, who's probably a pedophile in real life. Anyway, not going there. He said the greatest trick the devil has ever pulled is proving that he doesn't exist. In other words, keeping his kingdom in covert operations, moving in stealth. I'm there, but I'm not there. So in Derek Prince's book, I know some of y'all got this, Pulling Down Strongholds. I believe that Satan fears the ministry of deliverance for two reasons. First, because again, it brings his invisible kingdom out into the open. He would much rather keep it secret. Second, because it shows the supremacy and victory of God's kingdom over Satan's kingdom. Page 14. So we're going to talk about the kingdom of Satan. We want to talk about the kingdom of Satan. A lot of times we don't, right? We talk about the kingdom of Elohim, talk about the kingdom of Shemaim, we talk about, the future, we talk about the former, but we don't really talk about our adversary. So when I was thinking about this throughout the week, I'm like, how to kind of a way to get this across. When I was coaching, something that we would do is that I would have to do a scouting report. And so we were playing Midland College. Then on the scouting report, I'm going to have their best player, really their best 3 players. Then you have the other starters. Then you have the next probably 2 to 3 guys that come off the bench that they're averaging this many points and this many rebounds, or they're shooting this foul, they're shooting this field goal percentage. And on your scouting report, you'll have their plays, their favorite plays, so you just watch a bunch of game film over and over and over. And you're getting all these notes together, and you have a scouting report so you can go play that team. You know everything that they're going to do. I know the defense they're going to run. I know the offense they're going to run. If it's a ball is baseline out of bounds, called a blob, I know what they're going to do. If it's a sideline out of bounds, called a slob, we know what they're going to do. When they say, 31 quick hitter, we're yelling 31 quick hitter because we know what it is. So when we talk about a scouting report on the kingdom of Satan, are we that detailed? Do we have that much information? But is that not vital? How important is that? If I can get all these details for a ball game, well, then what about this game? What about this competition? Because clearly this is a big, big battle. And I promise you this, they have scouting reports on us. They have scouting reports on us. With the scouting report, and this happened just about every time I would always do one, you always have somebody bust your lip who's not on the scouting report. There's always somebody to just slide through the crack. And I would get Coach Thorns would chew my butt. Why didn't you tell me about number 14? 14 came here and gave us 12 points in the first half. I said, man, he ain't played in 5 games. I only played 10 games. He's been out of 5. So there's always an unknown on the scouting report. So we're going to look at the scouting report on the kingdom of Satan. So the best player, Revelation 12:9, tells us that the Satan, the great dragon, the old serpent, is one who deceived the whole world. Satan is their best player. The kingdom of Satan is their team depth. Revelation 12:4 tells us that 1/3 of the heavenly host. Do we know the original number for the heavenly host? No. So can we imagine how much 1/3 is? So we're outnumbered. So their team, their depth is big time. They're subbing in and out. 5 in, 5 out, 5 in, 5 out for thousands of years. The kingdom of Satan, their team strength.
Go ahead, read.
Invisible. Know all of human history since creation. In-depth knowledge of every human being family line. That's the kingdom of Satan's team strength. Is that everything that men are trying to get, we know. We know all of human history. We know all of the information. We know all the data. And on top of that, I know you. I know your family line. I know what buttons to push. I know what you secretly like. Team weakness. Blood of Yeshua. Blood of Christ. Another team weakness of theirs. Obedience to Torah. If you want to be effective against this kingdom, you need to use the blood of Christ. You need to be obedient to Torah. You need to walk by the Ruach. Will flee from people containing the power of God. When we've seen that all throughout Acts, right? So that's the scouting report on the kingdom of Satan. And obviously, their best player is Satan. Real quick, brother, give me 1 Peter 5 and 8.
First Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, is a roaring lion.
Your what?
Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
So the kingdom of Satan's best player has the ability like a lion. That kingdom, their best player is looking to devour. And a lot of times when we say, hey, I'm going through spiritual attacks or spiritual warfare, and we always, usually we call out Satan, right? But he is at the pinnacle of this kingdom. He's at the top of the top, okay? And I know we feel good about ourselves in Messiah. But once we look at this, hopefully we'll realize that Satan is not personally coming to your door and messing with you. Okay? Remember, on the scouting report, sometimes the most dangerous is the unknown, the one you didn't account for. Okay? Let's turn to Matthew 12. Matthew 12, be in verse 22. Matthew 12, thank you, brother. Matthew 12 and 22, and it reads, Then was brought unto him one possessed with the devil, blind and dumb. He healed him, and so much that the blind and dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed and said, It is not the son of David. When the Pharisees heard it, they said, This fellow doth cast out devils by the Beelzebub, the prince of devils. Yeshua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. For every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? If I by Beelzebub cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? Therefore they shall be your judges. But if I cast out devils by the spirit of Elohim, then the kingdom of Elohim is come upon you. Okay, so Yeshua is giving us detail on the spiritual order, that the kingdom of Satan is very organized. Yeshua is telling us it's a well-oiled machine, and that kingdom is not going to come against its own self. It is a well-oiled machine. So if we were to talk about this kingdom, where is this kingdom? Where are the kingdom's boundaries? Let's turn to Ephesians. Bless you. Ephesians 6, we're going to be in verse 12. We can start in 10. Start in 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the master, in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Elohim, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So let's look at high places. High places is Epuranios. Epuranios. Sound about right. Epuranios. Job Makla. So when we see high places, when Shaul is giving us the order, he said these are in high places. And the Euperanios is talking about 16 times that word is used for heavenly, 2 times for celestial, in heaven 1 time, high 1 time. So existing in heaven, things that take place in heaven, the heavenly regions, the heaven itself, the abode of God and angels, the lower heavens of the stars, the heavens of the clouds. Okay, so the Euperanios, okay, is telling us that it's in the heaven, okay, that his kingdom is in the heaven, okay. And remember what it says is that the principalities, powers, rulers of darkness against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, let's look at Ephesians 2:2. You know, it's hard to have a campaign on somebody. You don't know where they're at. You don't know how to go get them. You don't know how to go address them. So Ephesians 2:2. Well, 1. And you hath he quickened, who were dead in trespasses and sins, wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the what? Air. So let's look at this again. Where in time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the what? Air. The spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. So, air in Greek is ar, I think. R, yeah. And the air, particularly the lower and denser air, as distinguished from the higher and rarer air. So what air are you close to? Are you close to the lower air, or are you close to the higher air? The atmospheric region. Look at this one. It says the air, well, I already read that. The rulers of the powers in the air, i.e. the devil, the prince of the demons, that according to Jewish opinion, fill the realm of air. So the kingdom of Satan is in the air. So I think one of these words, I think in Acts it said that they took some dust and threw it in the air. That's how close the kingdom of Satan is to us. But remember, like Virgil said in Usual Suspects, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was that he didn't exist. Let's turn to what we got to turn. Eov, for Job. Now it fell upon a day, the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the master and Yahweh said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth and walking up and down in it. Now that's not air, is it? So his kingdom is in the air, but his realm that he can roam in is on the earth. Whew. So I got way more soldiers. I know everything about you. I'm right above your head, and I'm roaming on the earth. Wait, say. And he said, Vayomer. He said, Vayomer Mishut Ba'aretz. Right. Going to and fro where? In the earth. In the earth. In the earth. And he's walking, right? We have Ume Hit Halak, right? We have Halak. So just walking. Just walking. So Satan and his minions just walking around on the earth and got their kingdom right above your head. Slide 19. I'm sorry. Job 2. My bad. Job 2 and 1 and 2. And we have the same scenario. Again, it fell upon the day the sons of God came to present themselves before the Most High. Satan came also among them to present himself. Same thing. Where are you going? From going to and fro in the Eretz and from walking up and down it. So he asked him the same thing, and he told him, Vayomer, Mishut, Ba'aretz, Hat, Tihalak, Ba, in walking up and down and in it. So we have an idea of Satan's, not just his kingdom, but also his boundaries. Okay. Also boundaries. So the proximity of the kingdom of Satan between us and our Elohim. So how close is the kingdom of Satan to us? I found this pic. I thought it was kind of cool. See that person's head? That's somebody's head right there. You see that stronghold on top of the head? See a little red man? I guess that's the devil. But the point is that the kingdom of Satan is right above your head in the air. That's how close it is. Now, why does that become significant? Well, if I'm praying to the Most High, can the kingdom of Satan hinder my prayers? Let's look at Ephesians. Give me Ephesians 4 and 10, brother.
Ephesians 4 and 10. He that is descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things.
Far above what?
Far above all heavens.
How many heavens?
All heavens. That he might fill all things.
So according to the Bible, there are multiple heavens. There are multiple layers of heaven. So before you get to these different layers of heaven, underneath them is the kingdom of Satan. Then there's earth. Let's turn to Daniel. Turn to Daniel. Just a second. Daniel 10. Started verse 9. Yet heard I the voice of his words. When I heard the voice of his words, then was I in deep sleep on my face, and my face toward the ground. And behold, a hand touched me, which set me upon my knees and upon the palms of my hand. And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright, for unto thee am I now sent. And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembling. Then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before the Elohim, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me. I wonder, when Michael come to help, was it like was going to talk this thing out? There's probably some fisticuffs going on up there, right? So he said, the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. Below Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me. And I remained there with the king of Persia. Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days, for yet the vision is for many days. I'm going to skip forward to (19). And he said, O man, greatly beloved, fear not, peace be unto thee, be strong, yea, be strong. When he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened. He said, let my master speak, for thou hast strengthened me. Then he said, knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now I return to fight with the prince of Persia. So this angel is not necessarily talking about going and fighting the king of Persia. We're talking about the principalities, right? And all this is over what? Word. Communication. Between who? The Most High and his servants. So the most beneficial thing we have is the word of the Most High. So the kingdom of Satan is playing interference. It's a cornerback intercepting plays. The kingdom of Satan is trying to sack all your prayers. Now, for some people, life in such a tizzy, they ain't worried about your prayers. So he said 20 again. Then he said, knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia. When I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come. But I will show thee that which is noted in the scripture of truth. And there is none that holdeth with me in these things, but Michael, your prince. So this is all spiritual or supernatural or off of this planet confrontations. And we're right in the middle. Yeah. We are right in the middle. So the easy victims are those who don't participate. It's pretty easy, right? You are a silly rabbit, tricks it for kids, right? You followed. Is it Alice? You follow the rabbit down the hole. Okay. But for those of us that are wanting to engage, for those of us that want to have a free mind, for those of us who are wanting to rid ourselves of our enemy, right? We have to know what to pray for, what to pray against. It's not just always Satan, Satan, Satan. He's the pinnacle up here. Notice Daniel is someone who we can't hold a candle to. Let's just be honest, right? Man, walked it, talked it, lived it. You know, he ain't missing nothing. You know, I'm in prison. I'm incarcerated. I'm a captive, and I refuse to go against the Torah. Period. So but we're looking at Daniel. His prayers are of that effect. They're that powerful that the prince or ruler of that area stopped it. And we're going to keep, I think it was Gabriel, we're going to keep Gabriel from bringing the word. Let's look at 2 Corinthians 12. Second Corinthians 12. Second Corinthians 12. Let's look at verse 1. It's not expedient for me, doubtless to glory. I will come to visions and revelations of the Master. I knew a man in Christ above 14 years ago, whether in the body I cannot tell, or whether out of the body I cannot tell. Yah knoweth. Such a one caught up to the third heaven. Bless you. And I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell. God knoweth, how he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words, which is not lawful for a man to utter. So once again, the different layers of the Shemayim. And if Yah's at the top, then our prayers, our requests, our supplications, they have to go past the kingdom of Satan first. So if you've ever felt like, man, I feel like something's not being answered. Man, I've been praying on this thing for a long time. Man, it's hard for me to pray. You're at war. The kingdom of Satan is right above your pretty little head. That's what the kingdom of Satan is. And another quote here from this book. But somewhere between God's heavenly domain and us is a hostile kingdom that opposes us and seeks to hinder our prayers. Page 23. So we have to realize that the interference is for real. The most powerful thing a saint can do is pray. But if our prayers are hindered, not as effective, it's because the kingdom of Satan is right there above your head. And you have to crack through the kingdom of Satan before our prayers go up. Okay. Let's look at Luke. Second Corinthians 12 and 2. Really, I think I read 1 through 4. Luke 11. I'm going to start in 15. But some of them said he cast out devils through Beelzebub, the chief of devils. And others tempting him sought of him a sign from heaven. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself, brought to desolation, but a house divided against a house falleth. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because you say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub. And if I by Beelzebub cast out devils, by whom do your sons cast them out? Therefore shall they be your judges. But if I with the finger of Elohim cast out devils, no doubt the kingdom of Elohim is come upon you. Okay, so this is what we talk about, the kingdom of Elohim being in you. And we're supposed to use this to attack or to fight against the kingdom of Satan. Verse 21. When a strong man armed keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. But when a stronger than he shall come upon him and overcome him, and taketh from him all his armor, wherein he trusted, and divide his spoils. He that is not with me is against me, bless you. And he that gathereth not with me scattereth. Okay. In 23, he that is not with me is against me. He that is not gathers not with me scattereth. You can be in the house of Elohim, okay, and you can be an antagonist, and you can scatter, okay. You can be in the house of Elohim, you can be in the assembly, you can be in a camp, and you can be an antagonist, and you can still scatter. All right, you can scatter the purpose of Yah within the group. All right, so you can be used as a tool for the kingdom of Satan. Now, the strong man, we have to be able to identify the strong man in our life. Now, I've always looked at this, from, we're the strong man, and if I get binded up, all my possessions and things are done. We'll look at this a little bit differently. The strong man, armed, keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. If we have to identify the strong man in our life. Okay. Let's see here. This is a good one. This is a significant spiritual principle. If you want to be successful in any given situation, you must discover who or what the satanic strong man is over that situation. Then, once you have bound the strong man, you can do what needs to be done. But the principle is to first bind the strong man, then set his captives free and recover what was lost. Okay. So if we look at this passage again, when a strong man armed keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. Now, if we look at this a different way, and if we say, hey, I'm not the strong man. There's a strong man in my life, and I need to go bind him. I need to go bind the strong man. I need to go bind the strong man because the strong man is holding freedom. The strong man takes hope captive. The strong man has some people's faith locked up. So we have to find the strong man, have to find the stronghold, and we have to bind the strong man. So we have to address the strong man in our life. Now, remember when I said that the adversary of Satan is like the best player for the kingdom of Satan, but it's the little people on the scouting report, them the ones that hurt you. Them the ones that kind of sneak in on you. So we have to identify those strong men in our life. And it could be a strong man of pride, strong man of fear, strong man of doubt, strong man of lust, strong man of self-righteousness, strong man of laziness, strong man of finances. You want to know why your money ain't right? You want to know why you work so hard and you ain't got nothing in your pocket? Because there's a strong man over your finance. Once again, Yahshua let us know that the kingdom of Satan is a well-oiled machine.
Go ahead and preach it.
A well-oiled machine, and it covers everything on earth. Everything on earth. So you want to know why your money ain't right? There's probably a strong man over your finances. So then you have to call the strong man out. And you have to bind the strong man up. Have to tie him up. So then you have access to everything the strong man has taken. Strong man of jealousy. Strong man of addiction. We can go on and on and on. We have to identify the strong man. These are the little people on the scouting report that get overlooked. And we saying the devil's after me and the devil doing this to me. No, it's the strong man of pride. Satan's coming. No, it's the strong man of fear. The strong man of doubt. So if we don't address the lower level spiritual entities, then we really can't go forward. All right. So if we are starting our campaign, we're doing this campaign, this spiritual campaign, then we got to be able to identify the strong man. And we have to be willing to go and bind them up, tie them up, and then take back what was taken. If you're full of doubt, someone took your faith, then go bind up that strong man and get your faith back.
Go ahead. Preach it.
We have to be willing to do that. And once we do that, once we identify the strong man, then we start our campaign. This is a example of Alexander the Greek. But he starts his campaign. He just goes from one city to the next city, to the next city, to the next, to the next, to the next. Point being, this is how we should be. We should address, call them out, and knock them out one at a time and start our spiritual campaign. How much more effective are your prayers if you've taken out the strong man of pride? How much more effective are your prayers if you've taken out the strong man of doubt? How much more effective are your listening once you remove the strong man of doubt? The strong man of self-righteousness. Sometimes it's hard to make good decisions when you're so high and mighty. Everybody kind of ran through this when you come into the Torah. A little bit of self-righteousness sprinkled on you. Some of us got a bucket just poured on us. So the strong man so all these different, and I just came up, these are just some, but every aspect of your life. So when we make statements like, hey, let the Most High be in every part of your life.
Yeah.
Then the opposite would be the kingdom of Satan being a part of every part of your life. So I'm going to mess up your money. I need you broke. I need you doing A, B, and C. Once again, the scouting report says that they know everything about you. They know everything. Got a scouting report. Everything about your family. They know everything. If he starts going this far, we'll do this, this, and this, and he'll regress.
Preach it.
If she starts getting this far, we'll send this over here. She'll wig out because she always blames other people. Give her about 6 months. So we got to be willing to address the strong men. So we have to start our campaign with ourselves. We have to take out the strong men. Got to identify them. Then we start our campaign for war. And we take them out one by one. Some might be a little bit stronger than others. But the point is, you can win. The book says, blessed are the overcomers.
Yes, sir.
The overcomers. Sometimes trying ain't enough. Sometimes I just got to get it done.
Yeah.
Sometimes trying ain't enough. There's some things, no, I got to get this thing done.
Yes, sir.
I got to get it done. I got to stomp this joker out. I got to stomp this joker out. Stomp this thing out. Turn to Yehoshua 14. When it comes to addressing these strong men, starting our campaign, this should be a little bit familiar. Okay, Yehoshua 14:6. Then the children of Judah came unto Yehoshua in Gilgal, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, said unto him, Thou knowest the thing Yah said unto Moses, the man of Elohim, concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moshe, the servant of Yah, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to espy out the land. And I brought him word again, as it was in my heart. Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt. But I wholly followed Yah Elohim. Moshe swore on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance, and thy children's forever, because thou hast wholly followed Yah Elohim. And now, behold, Yah hath kept me alive. And he said, These 45 years, even since Yah spoke the word unto Moshe, the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness, and now, lo, I am this day 85 years old. As yet as I am strong this day as I was in the day that Moshe sent me, as my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war, both to go out and to come in. Now, therefore, give me this mountain.
Sir.
That's how your mentality got to be with these strong men. Self-righteousness. I'm looking for you. Jealousy. I'm looking for you. Find your strong man. Bind him in the name of Yah. I'm sorry, Pookie. I'm sorry, Bub.
You okay? You okay?
I'm sorry, Bub. Oh, baby.
That's right.
Now, therefore, give me this mountain, whereof Yah spoke in that day. Thou heard that in the day how the Anakim were there. So it ain't going to be easy. He said, I'm taking this mountain, but the Anakim are in the mountain. Who are the Anakim? Giants. They're in the mountain. He said, I'm taking that mountain. I'm going to line up their heads one by one. I refuse not to get what Yah has for me. Yah got a lot of stuff for people. But there's too many strong men in our life. Too many strong men. Guilt. Guilty all the time. Strong man of guilt. For thou heardest in that day how the Anakim were there, that the cities were great and fenced. If so be Yah will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as Yah has said. And Yehoshua blessed him and gave it to Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, Hebron, for inheritance. So we got to have to go and take the mountain. And we're not taking the mountain like they were. But we are addressing our strong men. But that means I got to be willing to look at myself. What are the little petty, I think Mrs. Linda said it in class today, the little petty things that I can't, okay. That's okay. I can't, I'm like a dog with a squirrel running around. I can't. So, but we have to address the strong men. We have to take them out one by one because we are supposed to be full in Messiah. Yeah. The end game is to be full in him. Spiritual wisdom, full of spiritual understanding, all knowledge of Elohim. But the strong men, we got to bind the strong men. And then we have to take out of that stronghold that which belongs to us. Right? We're supposed to, I think what is about the gospel or the good news, it sets the captives free. So I thought that was a great point. He said, is to set the captives free, recover what was lost. The adversary is a what? He's a thief. He's a robber, right? He steals. He's a liar. He's a murderer. But he's a thief. He don't come to the front door. He come in another way. Once again, the kingdom of Satan is right above your cute little head. We have to go to war with this kingdom. But before we start charging on chariots of fire with swords of Gandir, we're looking for you, Satan. We have to deal with the strong men, whether it's pride, fear, doubt, lust, so on, so forth. That's how we start our campaign. We take them out one at a time because we're now walking in the full authority. And it's hard to go to war against the kingdom of Satan if I'm not in Christ's authority. It's hard to go to battle and I got a bunch of strong men in my backpack. Because that will be used against you. Remember, it's the wiles of the devil, the craftiness of the serpent, the scheming of the serpent. Excuse me. Remember, they've been around longer than you. There's nothing you're going to outthink them on. You're not going to out-finagle this kingdom. Just not going to do it. They've been around since the beginning. You've been here 40 years or less or more. So we have to address the strong men, have to battle the strong men and take it one at a time. So knowing thy enemy, spiritual campaign part 1, we're going to really delve into this. And before we kind of go on to the next stuff, we got to just get the bare bones, knowing thy enemy. And Satan means adversary, but right now my enemy is the strong man over my finances, strong man of jealousy, strong man of addiction, strong man of this, strong man of that. And that should be the first objective. That should be our first objective. And then when we do that, we go on to the next objective. Because there's power when there's a multitude of people on the same page. Right? Destroying the strong man, tying them up. Because the less, Hebrews 12. Hebrews 12:1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. So there's a place for us to go. There's a roadmap for success. There's a blueprint. Yah has a blueprint for us, but we can only go so far on it if we don't weigh too much. So we have to cut down on some weight. Because once again, we're talking about a spiritual campaign. We're talking about, yes, the kingdom of Satan needs to be attacked. It needs to be attacked. This is what the disciples and this was a part of carrying the gospel. This is a part of walking in this way. But I can't do that if I got extra weight, right? So we address our strong man. Okay. So we'll pick up next week on Spiritual Campaign Part 2. Could we get a song? I don't know, like a Blow the Shofar in Zion song. And what we're going to do, and you guys can do this at home, and I don't know if y'all be able to hear this song or not. But we're going to play a song, and it should be a song of exuberance, joy. We're going to face Jerusalem, and we're going to call out the strong men in your life. Whatever. Okay. Shalom. Transition to Zoom.